Yeah, very good evening to all the distinguished audience who have joined for this brief orientation session on the online BCA degree program that is offered by SASTRA deemed university in India in collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs under a very prestigious program about which I will also give a very brief backdrop. What I propose to do in the next 1 hour of this orientation is to take you through the various aspects of this bilateral initiative between the government of India and the African nations in trying to offer quality education programs to learners on the other side of the globe in the Africas. And in particular, today's discussion will be on the BCA online program that the SASTRA University will be offering. And since it is the SASTRA University's online program, I thought it fit to also present a very brief abstract overview of the university. And then the third part of the presentation will be the overview of the BCA online program itself. And then we will leave it open for the viewers to ask their questions, which they can do by typing their questions in the YouTube chat that is enabled for you. And as much questions as I can possibly take in the question hour session, I will try to answer them. So let me begin the presentation with the orientation about the program, which is the unique program between universities selected under this scheme for learners in 16 countries in Africa to begin with. This program is under the EVBAB network project, and we call it the E-Vidya Bharati Arogya Bharati initiative from the MEA, which is the Ministry of External Affairs, which in its broadest objective is to offer free education and medical services using the power of technology to end users spread across 48 African nations. And as a first phase, we have now partnered with 16 African nations. And on the Indian side, there are a handful of universities, and SASTRA is one that has signed an MOU with TCIL to offer the online BCA program under this very unique initiative, in which over 15,000 scholarships will be offered to the students. And the agency that is putting together all of these initiatives is the reputed TCIL, who are leaders, who are the best in ensuring that all the technology puzzle is solved and they are all in place. The next few slides is about the University SASTRA, which was started in the year 1984 as an engineering college called the Shanmuga College of Engineering. And for the benefit of my friends in Africa, the regulator for technical education in the country is called the All India Council for Technical Education, shortly the AICTE, which approves all the engineering institutions in the country. That itself was formulated in 1991. And since its inception, the institution was also approved by AICTE, after which the institution was accredited by the National Board of Accreditation and then became an autonomous institution, after which it got the university status. And after becoming a university, the institution was renamed as Shanmuga Arts, Science, Technology and Research Academy, as it is called SASTRA in short. For my friends again from Africa, since this is Bachelor of Computer Applications and Mathematics has got a very strong influence in computer applications. One of the world's leading mathematic genius of the times in the early 1900s was the great Srinivasa Ramanujan, whose house the university purchased. And in his honor, we also have another campus in a place not very far from our campus, which is in Tanjavur, which is in the state of Tamil Nadu in south of India. Currently, the university offers various undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD programs. And the university is accredited by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council with a score of 3.54 that gives us a grade of A+, as a result of which we are recognized as a Category 1 university in the country. One of the leading ranking metric that is adopted in India is the NIRF, which is the National Institutional Ranking Framework. And in the last 5 years that has gone by since its inception, Shastra has been consistently ranked amongst the top 50 universities. And in the 2020 ranking, which I will share later, we are ranked 25th. The engineering programs are accredited by the IET, which is a global accreditation body. And as a research university, we are recognized as a scientific and industrial research organization by the Government of India, as a result of which we undertake various research projects for reputed funding agencies like the Department of Science and Technology, Biotechnology, the Defense, Space, Health, and not only for government agencies, but also for various private organizations. I mentioned before the ranking, the university is ranked 25th in the recently announced NIRF ranking. And I also mentioned about the Category 1 university status that Shastra has got from UGC, which is the country's regulatory body that governs university education. And not only national ranking, Shastra also figures in many global rankings as well, be it the Times Higher Education, Global, Asia, or Emerging Universities, or QS, Global, BRICS. All of these international rankings, Shastra figures in the rankings issued year on year. This is just a quick snapshot of the campus, which is situated in Tamil Nadu here in India, spread over a very vast area of around 150 acres, with built-up area providing access to some of the best state-of-the-art facilities, giving the students who are here for a face-to-face education program a very comprehensive learning experience that is also provided with hostel facilities inside the campus. And by the time we start this academic year, next academic year, these are the new buildings that will be also added to the existing infrastructure. Now, this infrastructure that you see is the facility, which is the studio facility in which all our online content is getting created. We have some high-end facilities, 4 of this type, with some of the best video capture devices, editing tools, supported with uninterrupted bandwidth and storage facilities, as a result of which we are able to create the video content for the online education program. This is the physical campus library that provides access to various print and online resources inside the campus. And this is just a very brief overview about the university. I will be very happy to invite you to our campus whenever you get a chance to visit India in the near future. Having said that, the next 15 minutes, I'm going to spend some time on the SASTRA BCA online program, which is why most of you have come for this session. And I would be taking you through a brief introduction about the program, how it has been structured, the online learning ecosystem that supports this program, the assessment and evaluation mechanisms, and how you would be registering and getting enrolled into the online program, after which we will have a session of question and answers. The BCA program is the Bachelor of Computer Applications, which is offered in the online mode. And since it is an online mode, there is no territorial restriction. Students from anywhere in the world can enroll for this program. And to be more specific, this interaction is to provide an awareness for students from first 16 select countries in the Africas who will be part of this program, which is 3 years in duration. And each year is spread over 2 semesters. And the eligibility for this program is that the student must have passed the high school, which is 10+2 from a recognized board in your respective nations, or an equivalent board that recognizes your higher secondary examinations. The program provides you good access to a very experienced and committed faculty who will be offering personalized tutoring besides the online sessions, and also will be in a position to facilitate the entire learning process through adequate counseling. And given the fact that this is an online program, this courseware is aligned with the latest IT requirements, being a BCA program that captures emerging courses, that gives you a feel of a contemporary learning to make you updated. And this online program is equivalent to a full-time degree program, and thereby it enhances your career mobility. If you want to go for a postgraduate degree, you can still go, or use this BCA degree for other employment opportunities as well. The 3-year program, as I told you before, is structured in 2 semesters a year. So you would be covering 6 semesters over a period of 3 years. And you will be earning 120 credits to qualify for the BCA degree. Admission to this program happens twice a year. The January-February is the first window, and the second window that we are currently opening up for admissions is the July-August admissions window. And once you become a student of this program, you will undergo the program in a very modular fashion, finishing 6 courses in the first 2 semesters, and in the senior semesters covering 4 courses. By course, I mean a subject, and each subject is given a set of credits, and you earn 20 or 16 as the case may be in each of the semesters. And the last semester, in addition to your coursework, you will also be doing a hands-on project work that gives you a total credits of 30. And as and when you clear your examinations for every semester, we would be offering you letter grades for each subject, for each course, and the letter grades get converted into an SGPA, which is a semester grade point average at the end of every semester. And as you keep moving to senior semesters, you earn your credits and then keep registering higher cumulative grade point averages. So this is how the program is structured. The second part of the program is the way in which it will be administered. As the name suggests that it is an online degree program, the entire ecosystem that will support every learner and faculty will be built around a very robust platform called the Swayam, and that's the MOOC platform that we will be using. This Swayam is the MOOC platform that is indigenously built by the Ministry of Human Resources Development, the Government of India. The approach in building the content for this program has a 4-quadrant approach. For every course, you will have 4 quadrants. The first quadrant will be video lectures, which will be a set of lectures of 30 to 40 minutes duration, pre-recorded and hosted in the platform by our faculty members. And as you become students, you get access to these video lectures. The quadrant 2 will be the reading material prepared by the university that supports the video lectures. So they will be in a soft copy form as part of the online asset, and that will be quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 will be additional online resources, which will be in addition to the basic reading material that the university gives. It could be other online resources, some case studies, some other reference material. So these are the external resource material that will further enhance your learning capabilities and will be provided in quadrant 3. Quadrant 4 is the assessment quadrant, and that is where you will be continuously assessed and also be administered the final examination and evaluation happens online. The way in which this entire program is designed gives you a feeling that this online learning experience gives you the capability to undergo this program anywhere, anytime, and using any device. So it gives you the ability to pace your learning in a manner that is appropriate to your learning capabilities. So that's the level of modularity that is built in this self-paced online learning ecosystem. In addition to this self-paced learning, we will also meet the students through regular virtual contact classes that we will be organizing through various webinar and webcasts of this type. And we will also use the tools available in the MOOC platform for collaborative learning and sharing, which means that it is not only the faculty that will be interacting with the students, but also the students amongst themselves can build a collaborative learning experience as you are a part of this online learning that brings together all of you in the spirit of collaborative learning. Now, this is just a sample display. Don't worry about the font size, but just gives you a feel of how the subjects will be offered. If you look at this table, each subject will have 5 units. Each units will have basically 5 lessons. Each of them could be one video lecture. And to support each video lecture, you will have a supporting text material in quadrant 2 and a reference material in quadrant 3 and an assessment for that particular video session. So in essence, it means that as and when you complete one video lecture, you will have one small assessment part, one quiz. And then you move to the next lesson. You move to the next lesson. You finish one unit. And maybe at the end of 2 weeks, you would have finished one unit. There will be one assessment. Then you finish the next unit. And finally, for every subject, you will end up finishing 5 units. And by the time you finish 5 units over a 15-week period or a 16-week period, you would have undergone some 10 to 15 quizzes, completed some assignments. Now, these are the ones that we will be using as our continuous internal assessment. And access to these video lectures will be modularly built, which means you will have access to lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, and so on. Only if you finish lesson 1, finish the corresponding quiz, and then you go to lesson 2. So this is how you progressively build your learning experience. Now, once this happens, there is also the end semester examination. Now, I explained in the previous slide that the evaluation system comprises of continuous internal assessment, which I said could be the weekend online test. And by the way, all of the assessment will be done in the online mode. So the internal assessment could be multiple choice questions or small descriptive questions or assignments on the topics that are covered. And then the end semester examination will be a proctored online examination of 3 hours duration. That doesn't mean that the continuous internal assessment is not proctored. We trust our students also. So we hope that you also engage in this learning experience in all seriousness and do your continuous internal assessment, resorting to the highest standards of examination ethics. And the final passing mark is 40% out of a total 100, which is a combination of your continuous internal assessment marks and your end semester examination marks. However, the weightage for the continuous internal assessment is 30%, while the weightage for your end semester examination is 70%. And the weighted sum of both must be a minimum of 40 for you to pass a given course. So this is how the evaluation system works. And now the last part is the registration and admission process. Now all of you, I'm sure you would be wanting to be a part of the BCA online program. And since that you want to be students of this program, you have to complete a basic registration and admission process where you log on to our university website, www.sastra.edu, and then it will be a self-explanatory module that will navigate you through the entire registration process. And as I said before, this program is fully funded by the Ministry of External Affairs, which provides students 100% scholarship. So all that the students have to do is to complete the registration process, which basically gets some basic data about the student, so that we have access for future communication using your Gmail account. We generate a username, password, and give it to you so that for your future references, completing the admission process, you can use it. And as you complete the registration process, you will go through all of these. typing your personal details, your demographic detail, your passport details, your citizenship, then the qualifying examination that you have passed, the marks for that, the name of the school that you finished your high school. So all of these details are some basic data set that is required for us to process your application. And once this is done, some of you may be already working also. In case you are working, maybe you should also share the details of your employer, and then all the supporting documents that are required, which you will see in the registration module, namely your photograph or your mark sheet or your government issued identity card. So all of this, a soft copy, need to be uploaded. So if you look at the registration process, it is very simple. It asks for some basic set of communication data so that we can reach out to students, some demographic data so we know where you are from, and your academic qualification data so that it is easy for us to process your application form. And once you are registered to this program, the university will reach out to you, offering you an admission confirmation with all the access credentials for the online program. And once you are done with that, then you have full access to all the online resources as part of this program. And we are hoping to start this program from the third week of August, but the process of registration, all of this hopefully will be completed by the second week of August. And I encourage the learners to visit the university website as shown here and register for the program. And that way you become the students of an online BCA program that is offered by SASTRA Deemed University in collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs as part of a very prestigious program that reaches out to students in Africa to receive high quality higher education from select universities in India. And we are very happy that SASTRA is one of the selected universities in this flagship initiative of the Ministry of External Affairs that provides the undergraduate degree in the case of SASTRA to students who want to study BCA in the online method. Now, after this, I am sure many of you will have a lot of questions. And please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Dr. S. Gopalakrishnan is the director for this program. He is available at this mobile number, which is also WhatsApp enabled. And you can also send your emails to the email address that is given here. I would encourage the audience to take a quick photo of this slide. And anyway, this YouTube is available. We will share the YouTube link with all the registered participants so that in case you have a need to revisit the video, you can revisit the video. And I am Vaidya Subramaniam, the Vice Chancellor of SASTRA Deemed University. And it was a pleasure talking to all of you. And as I said before, I will pause here to take questions. And I encourage all of you to ask any questions that you have in mind. And I will pick that from the YouTube comments and try to answer them. There is one question about the learning centers. It's a good question. The evaluation system that I was mentioning said that there's going to be a proctored end semester examination. It is a very visionary step of the Ministry of External Affairs to set up learning centers in all the partner countries in adequate number. And these learning centers are not only going to be used only for the purpose of end semester examinations, but also will be a support facility for the students to also go and have a view of the online content in those learning centers, which will be adequately equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that provides you access to the learning content, and later will also be your assessment centers in which you will be taking your examinations. And the learning centers are optimally and adequately located in different parts of the partner countries, giving you the geographical convenience to reach out and make yourself present in the learning centers in the event that you want to make use of those facilities. Another question is how to choose the learning centers. So there will be facilitators as part of this program once you become students who will help you in choosing these learning centers. But generally, students would like to choose learning centers that are proximal to their place of stay or work. And as much as possible, the first thing that you would like to do is to choose a learning center that is close to you. And there will be facilitators to help you out in giving you a list of those learning centers, and you can choose from that list centers that are closer to your workplace. Now, as I wait for some more questions, and I see some of you typing, I would also like to mention that the online teaching learning has evolved over a period of time. And for learners like you, please bear in mind that we are trying our best to give you a real-time learning experience in the online mode. So as much as possible, we are trying to bring the conventional classroom experience into the online mode. And we request you also to be putting 100% of your efforts to make this online teaching learning experience a mutually rewarding one for both of us. The next question is, when are you likely to publish the names of successful candidates? Now, as I told you, once you finish your registration visiting our website, we will be going through the documents that you have submitted, and we want to ascertain the basic eligibility criteria. And once you meet the eligibility criteria, within a week from the last day of registration, which is August 11th, students who meet the eligibility criteria will be notified of their admission status. So a pointed reply to that question is hopefully by August 18th or maximum August 20, you will be knowing your admission status. And as I told you before, the moment you confirm your admissions, the credentials for access to the entire online courseware will be given to you immediately. Now, as I again wait for the next question, another point that I would like to convey to all those who are watching this program is about the assessment. I had clearly mentioned that this assessment will be an online assessment. Nevertheless, there are also assignments that will be given as part of your internal assessment, which means that some faculty members would ask you to finish some assignments, which you will do it in written format and then send it by email to the faculty concerned for assessment. So those are those small assessments that need not necessarily happen online, but will involve some return work from your end as well. The next question is, why is a passport mandatory in the application process? Now, this is a question that we expected. This is the first time that we are doing this at this scale, and the passport is a mandated requirement based on the guidelines issued by the competent authority in India. So for this round of admission, it is required, and we are also trying our best, hopefully, to waive this requirement maybe as we move forward in the next rounds of admission. But for this round of admission, it is a mandatory requirement for the purpose of completely filling the admission process. So it is a mandatory requirement by the competent authority, and that answers the question why it is necessary. Another question is on credits. What do I mean by credit? A semester has a set of credits, which is converting the courses completed into credits earned. So if there are 6 courses in the first semester having 20 credits, some courses might have 4 credits, some courses might have 3 credits, some courses have 2 credits. Basically, the more is the number of credits, the more will be the effort that is required by the student to earn that credit, which means there will be more number of video lectures, more number of reading material, more assignments, and then the end semester examination will be of that standard that gives you more credits. This defines the rate of completion of your course and the weightage that is allotted to each course. So at the end of 3 years, you would be qualified for a BCA degree if you pass all the courses in all the semesters, thereby earning 120 credits. And the project work alone will have additional 14 credits because that's a continuous process that involves hands-on experience. So totally, all the 29 courses, including your project work, translates to 120 credits. Once the admission is offered, this is another question regarding when the successful candidates will be notified of their admission. From our end as a partner university in this initiative, after verifying your documentation, we will notify successful candidates of their admission to the Ministry of External Affairs, which will then assess all the application for further scrutiny before it is approved for the scholarship, because they are the agency that gives you the scholarship. So it will be a 2-stage process, and our process will get over within a week's time, after which the MEA will have to do their internal scrutiny process, and then you will be notified of your final admission with the scholarship. There is another question on assessment. If a particular student is not able to clear a course in a semester, is he required to revisit the course? As I said before, to graduate, you have to necessarily earn 120 credits, which means if in a semester, if a particular student is not able to get that minimum 40 marks in a given subject, you will move to the senior semester, but at the end, let's say this subject is at the second semester, you move to the third semester, and after you finish the third semester course, along with the third semester examinations, you will also undertake the second semester course for which you were not able to clear. So you have to revisit the second semester to take the examination and earn the credit for that particular course, because only if you get all the 120 credits, you are eligible for the BCA degree program. And in popularly, we call it as arrear or backlog. So any arrear or any backlog in the previous semester has to be necessarily cleared in the subsequent semesters as and when those examinations are offered. But there is no way that you can fall short of 120 credits and still get a BCA degree program. That 120 credit requirement is the mandatory minimum requirement for a BCA degree program. The next question is there a penalty to which a student will be withdrawn from the program? This is a fully funded scholarship initiative that is given by the MEA. So the MEA has a set of procedural rules and regulations. We will definitely check with that on the issue of whether there is a penalty if a student withdraws from the program after the first year or anywhere in the middle, because you would have got the scholarship. So I will personally also check and then come back with an answer as part of your question. Yeah, before the next question comes, another important element that you have to understand as part of this program is the grading. The CGPA, as I explained to you, is the cumulative grade point average. If your cumulative grade point average is more than 6, you get your BCA with the first class. If it is more than 7.5, you get your BCA with the first class and distinction. So a CGPA of 7.5 and more at the end of 3 years will give you a BCA degree with a first class distinction. So that's the way in which the degree is also categorized. Now, in the online registration process, there is also a PDF file that is available for you to also download that takes you through various steps. Basically, it captures what you're seeing. So I encourage the students to meticulously follow the procedure that is given. And please spend some extra effort and time to get yourself registered without any mistakes, because we are going to interact with you in the online mode. So make sure that your email ID is correct so that our communication to you reaches at the right point of time. And at the end of this session, we will also add all the registered audience to the WhatsApp group. So all the updates we will be also sharing in the WhatsApp group. So please be on the lookout for additional updates in the WhatsApp group that we have created. Another question: is a graduation ceremony mandatory for all aspirants? I would be very happy if the successful graduates come to India, come to my university for the convocation or the graduation ceremony that we conduct every year. I'll be very happy to host you. So you can come and be part of the convocation function or the graduation ceremony. In the event that that's not possible, we will definitely also have a virtual graduation ceremony for all the successful graduates. And given the fact that this COVID experience has given us a lot of learning in organizing events in the virtual space, we definitely think that it is possible to do a virtual graduation ceremony for all of you who successfully graduate. So the choice is yours. You can either come to our campus in India and participate in the face-to-face graduation ceremony or participate in the virtual graduation ceremony. Still have 10 more minutes, so I will make use of this time before I get the next question to explain the 4 quadrants. As I told you, the 4 quadrants is the benchmark that we use to ensure that there is consistency in the online content that we are building. So for every course, you will have these 4 quadrants. And I told you a course or a subject is defined by a syllabus which has 5 units, and each unit will have a series of 4 to 5 lectures. So for each lecture, you will have a corresponding reading material, a reference material, and a quiz or an assignment. So it is these 4 units, subunits of each of these 4 quadrants that completes your learning for one concept in a particular unit. And then you aggregate all the learning for all the units using all the 4 quadrants to complete one full course. And likewise, you complete 4 to 6 courses in a given semester to give you the credits for that particular semester. Though this is a self-paced learning, which means I told you that you can learn it at any place, any time, using any device. But my advice is that you shouldn't postpone your learning. Since it's going to be available for one full semester, it becomes very difficult for you to complete all the video lectures, finish all assignments and quizzes in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks if you are postponing the course coverage. So I would advise students to complete this at the rate of a fortnight coverage, which means please don't have any backlog that is more than 2 weeks old. So as and when possible, please finish your learning in the just-in-time mode so that you don't have backlog and you have enough time to prepare for your end semester examinations. The next question is whether you need to go to learning centers for face-to-face tuition support alongside the MOOC courses. Now, the learning centers in the approved institutions, as I told you, are not only for the purpose of conducting the proctored end semester examination, it provides you access to the content as well. Now, if we are scheduling an interactive session, and if the learning center is available at that point of time, you have the opportunity to go to the learning center to attend these contact classes. So it needs to be available at the time that we plan to also host these interactive virtual sessions? So the answer is yes, you can have access to these learning centers for our virtual contact classes in addition to the MOOC course content. Next question is there is a tutor assigned to such role. To each course, we have a course coordinator who's attached to the course, who will basically be your academic tutor. And this faculty will be responsible for addressing your academic concerns as an academic tutor for that particular course. And so, friends, I don't see more questions coming. And we also have 5 more minutes. I take this opportunity once again to thank all of you for taking your time off to be part of this webinar that was organized by the Ministry of External Affairs. And please bear in mind, please be mindful of the fact that you are not only going to be a part of a BCA degree program that is offered by SASTRA deemed university. That is one part. But you are going to be part of a larger initiative that the government of India has initiated with a group of African Union countries under the prestigious EVBAB network project, which is the E-Vidya Bharati Arogya Bharati. Now, these are initiatives that will give you a sense of collaborative learning. A collaborative learning not just between the students of the BCA online program, not collaborative between the students and faculty of the university that is offering this online program. It is something more, that it is a collaboration that is bringing countries together. And it is with this spirit that I would encourage you to be a part of this knowledge explosion that gives you an opportunity to earn an undergraduate degree or whatever be the degree, a certificate or a diploma in the prestigious vision and mission project. And please note that if you have any questions after this session is over, you can always email your questions to your national project coordinator, or you can email it to support@ilearn.gov.in. support@ilearn.gov.in. As I told you, I invite you to be a part of a very grand collaboration through this unique initiative. And before I conclude, I will take one last question. So there is a student that asked, any PhD program? Well, as of now, the MOU doesn't contemplate on PhD. The policy guidelines also don't allow for an online PhD program. So we cannot offer a PhD program under this initiative. This initiative is restricted to certificate programs, diploma programs, undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs, and not for PhD programs. I encourage all of you to be a part of this exciting collaborative initiative between India and group countries from Africa. And this is a chance for you to proudly say that you finished a program with full scholarship that was offered from the government of India. And I would look forward to seeing you on the other side as students of an online BCA degree program offered by SASTRA Deemed University. Thank you very much, Ministry of External Affairs, for this opportunity. And thank you very much, all learners, for being a very wonderful audience and asking some good questions. And please allow your questions to flow. Even if you have more questions, please send it to your national project coordinator if it is specific to the mission project, or anything that is academic or about the program. Please feel free to email the questions to us. We are always here to answer them. Thank you and stay safe. See you all soon. Thank you very much. Vande Mataram.
Thank you, sir. Vande Mataram.